Hi there, my name is Bryony. I'm the head of coaching here at Relish, and today we're talking about the do's and don'ts of taking a break in a relationship. So as we know, sometimes a break is necessary in a relationship, especially if there's a lot of conflict or there's a lot going on for both people. Sometimes it's actually necessary to take a step back and reassess. And as we know, this can actually be really good for a relationship. So taking some space can give it some oxygen. It can help us to miss the person and also talk to people about the issue. So when we think about it, it's really important in these moments to do self-care, so practice self-care and look after ourselves, and also access support. So talk to people we trust or talk to a professional about the issues that are happening. That said, as we know from the famous Ross and Rachel situation, a break is not always a break, and it's really important to set clear boundaries around what's okay during this time and also what the intention is. So here are some do's and don'ts for taking a break in your relationship. The first step is discuss in person. So this is probably not what you want to do, particularly if you've been having a lot of conflict or if you aren't necessarily seeing each other much at the moment, but it's really important to discuss in person. There's a lot of misinterpretation and things that can kind of go wrong if we're doing it over the phone or via text. So as uncomfortable as it might be to get together in person, just see if you can kind of sit with that discomfort and understand that to give it the best possible chance, meeting in person, talking things through, making eye contact, exploring those boundaries and what's going to happen is really important, and you will not regret it. So the second tip is to set some ground rules. So to refer back to friends again, it's really important to just decide, like, what sort of break is this? Is this a break where we see other people and we're basically not together for a while? Is it that we're not dating other people, but we're just kind of taking some time to ourselves? So just trying to figure out what each person is comfortable with and what's not okay. This is really important because everybody has different ideas of what a break is. Some people can think, okay, I'm single now until we get back together, and other people will think, okay, now I'm taking some time to think and process. So it's really important that you talk about ground rules and also why it's important to you as well, and what you might do if these are breached. So step 3 is explore the cause of the break. So this again could be a bit difficult, but it's really helpful to talk it through either with your partner or with a friend. So just get a sense of what's actually been going on and what are the issues that are contributing to needing to take a break and what you're going to do about them as well. Step 4 is make your time away count. So this really involves, I guess, re-engaging with that side of yourself that maybe goes a bit dormant when you're in a relationship. So if your reason for taking a break is you want to know if you're happier by yourself, or you want to kind of explore being single, see if you can kind of really make that time valuable. So whether it is taking a solo trip, re-engaging with your hobbies, seeing your friends again, just sort of see this time and use it intentionally. Don't necessarily spend all your time on the couch crying or watching Netflix, even though that's also important. Step 5 is to consider what you want a relationship to look like if you reunite. So it's probably not a great idea just to take a break and then get back together again and expect everything to be better. Maybe sit down either by yourself or with your partner and just think about what you might want to be different, what needs to change, what changes can you make so that you're giving this relationship a better chance. Do you want less conflict? Do you want more intimacy? Do you want things to be fairer? So just really think about what was actually contributing to needing to take a break. Step 6 is don't set a time frame. So this can be tricky, but just remember that there is really no set time frame for this, and it really does require constant renegotiation. We're talking about two people here, so perhaps you're going to be okay in a week, but maybe your partner needs a little bit more time. So just kind of keep the lines of communication open and make sure that you let your partner know if you need a bit more time or if you're doing okay. Step 7 is don't use the time vindictively. So I'm sure we've all heard of people who've gone on breaks and have kind of dated up a storm, or have done things on social media to show their partner that they're completely fine without them. So remember, we're thinking about what's the intention here, what's the break for, what's it about. So even if your break does involve dating other people, see if you can be respectful and sensitive to your partner, and just remember that it's always a bit painful to see your partner with somebody else, whether you're on a break, broken up, or still together. So just kind of consider that when you're thinking about whether you're dating other people. Step 8 is don't take a break to avoid breaking up. So lots of people do this. They might actually be thinking the relationship isn't going to last, but instead of kind of pulling the pin, a break perhaps feels like a nice way to slow fade out. But actually it never is really, because it just kind of prolongs it, and it can be way more painful, particularly if one person is more invested in the relationship. So if you're feeling like you want to break up with somebody, but you're not quite feeling brave enough, see if you can write down what you want to say, and don't kind of fall back on the break thing, because it really is doing an injustice to you and your partner as well, and it's stopping you from moving on and healing. So step 9 is don't force getting back together. So sometimes after a break we can feel like, particularly if we're still in the grieving process, feel like, well, that wasn't very nice, I kind of miss this person and I want to get back together with them. And maybe your partner's not feeling the same way. So remember, a break is essentially, kind of starting fresh and taking some time. So if you're feeling like you want to get back together but your partner's on the fence, just give them some time. Talk to them about what might need to change, talk to them about what's going on for you. But remember, when we take a break, we are making a fundamental change in the relationship and the dynamic. So it's probably not going to be exactly the same as it was before. So if you're struggling with any of these issues, and it can be really hard, particularly when we're looking at potentially breaking up or taking a break, I definitely recommend speaking to your Relish coach if you're using Relish. If not, you can sign up now. We've got a lot of lessons around breakups or setting boundaries around breaks, lots of lessons about conflict and communication and attachment styles as well, because this is really important here too. So I definitely recommend getting some support, whether that's talking to a coach or doing some lessons. It can really help, particularly in terms of understanding what's going to give you the best chance of getting what you need right now. So I hope this has been helpful, and thanks for watching.